Hey guys, this is my first time streaming. I'm just about to show you guys how I trade. I've been trading now for the last 10 years. Um, I just want to start a stream, show you guys how I trade, what I do. Hopefully you guys can pick up something from what I do and yeah, incorporate it in your own trading. But first of all, I want to tell you guys that this is for educational purposes only. It's not an investment advice, nothing like that. For educational purposes only. So, with that said, let's go. So the pair that I trade most of the time is I trade all pair pretty much. I trade anything that moves, but I try to because of my strategy because I scalp 1 hour time frame. I go down to as low as the 5 minutes time frame. For execution. So the lower the spread of the currency pair that I trade, the better. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Currently, I'm in this trade. So in 4 minutes, this is my target. This is my stop loss. In 4 minutes, once this 1 hour close and my target is not reached, I'm out of the trade. It's a, it's a scratch. It's a scratch. Yeah, I don't think I don't think the target will be reached. But let's see. 4 minutes to go, and we move on to the next thing. So I entered this trade somewhere here. I knew this level right here was going to be a problem. This level right here. So my strategy is pretty much a pullback. So I trade a pullback strategy. So the idea is I wait for market to make a move, pull back, then I enter a trade for it to continue going up. So pretty much this is what I was anticipating when I took this trade. But it looks like it's not going to happen. So we're just going to take our loss, small loss, and yeah, move on to the next trade. Even though we are at a support zone, and most likely the price will bounce from here. But all my trades have to work out within a certain time frame. Once that time hits, win or lose, I scratch the trade and move on to the next one. So 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Until the current 1 hour candle close. even though I think most likely this target will be hit. Actually, this is my main objective. But if this current trade doesn't work out, I'm out and I wait for the next one. Mm, even though my bias is long, I mean 75%, I believe by the end of the trading day, this high will be tested. But it doesn't matter. What I was playing for was for this target here to be reached. My entry was somewhere here. My entry was somewhere here, but it didn't happen. So we're out. We wait for the next setup. We are done for that one. So that's the thing with trading, guys. you build up your your thesis, but of course, as new information comes in, the probability changes, the expectation changes. Was this exactly what I was hoping for when I took the trade? No, I was expecting that we're gonna pull back here, then go up to here at least. But that didn't happen. So we wait for the next trade. But by the end of the trading day, I expect this zone to be hit. Okay, let's see, have a look at how the other pairs closed. Well, this is Euro Swiss franc, Euro pound, Euro yen, Euro New Zealand, Euro US, I'm just looking for a setup here, guys. This is pound US. I missed this trade. See, the target has been reached, but I missed it. I wasn't in that particular trade. The same idea as the other trade, you know, my entry was not triggered on this one. I missed it, but it's all good. Trading is it's all about patience. Patience, pick your levels. If you get hit, you are in the trade. If you don't get hit, it's okay to miss the trade, but you wait for the next one. But you never chase, because once you chase, you get in at a worse price. Okay, okay. So now we have a potential setup. NZ Canadian dollar. We are heading towards a daily zone, though. That is a daily zone, and another potential problem is that the daily candle have, I mean, for today, we've already made a big move in one direction. And you can see that the daily expected range is 54 pips. So, and most likely we've done more than that already. So, trying to look for buys, trying to look for pullback to take buys, like something like this, it's not going to be a high probability trade. Even though I like how this 4 hours candle close, but it's not going to make sense. Ideally, if I'm hunting for, if I'm going to take this trade, what I'm looking for, I will be looking for is for price to retrace. I'll take a buy, take profit somewhere up here. But the thing is, we are the day, I mean, we are pushing off of a weekly support, which means there's a huge potential for to even break this zone. It's possible because we are pushing off of a strong zone. Anyway, I'll see how this trade unfolds. Depending on what the pullback looks like, I might consider taking a trade. So NZ Canadian dollar, I'll keep that in mind. NZ card. Card. So guys, I will be making these videos regularly. So if you like, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will be bringing you exactly how I trade. I've done a lot of research into what I do, and I believe you guys will find a lot of value in this. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will be bringing this to you guys every day. I will be making these videos regularly. So if you like, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will be bringing you exactly how I trade. I've done a lot of research into what I do, and I believe you guys will find a lot of value. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will bring this to you guys. So if you have any question, you can type it in the you can type it you can ask me, and I'll answer whatever questions you have. So if you have any question, you can type it, you can ask me, and I'll answer whatever questions you have. So basically what I'm trying to do What my strategy is every market moves the same. I don't. I mean, in terms of forex anyway, most liquid instruments they all move the same. I mean, stock is a little bit different. Stock you have gaps. They don't trade 24 hours. So it's different. But in terms of my work and my observations, forex, most currency pairs, most liquid instruments they move the same. So basically, what I'm trying to do is, you see how we have a strong push here, you have a retracement, and market continues to push down. This is exactly what I'm trying to exploit, guys. It happens every single day, day in, day out. So this is the idea that I'm trying to exploit. That's how I've been trading, and go and backtest this on your whatever software you use, and you will be amazed. You will be amazed. I mean, I trade pullback. The core of what I do is pullback. But of course, I'm watching major and minor support and resistance zones, because you can have the best trading setup if you are going against where the big monies are, or even where the little monies are. Big money, for sure, you're gonna be taking losses after losses, and the big monies are in at the higher time frame support and resistance zones. If you keep taking buys above here, a metal zone, you keep taking buys here, you're gonna be taking losses after losses. There is no two ways about that. But on the same hand, if you keep taking buys on a smaller zone, sometimes your trade might work, but it will be a pain in the, you know what I mean. The trade might work out in the end, but those trades are really, really difficult. It's like it goes in your favor, it pulls back, you are in drawdown. So if you can avoid taking trades, like taking buys at a resistance zone and taking sales as support, it will greatly improve your trading, guys. So the first thing you do when you come to your chart is to map out your zones. You map out your zones, and then you start hunting for setups. I mean, for today's session, the two currency pair that I had in my crosshair was EuroCAD and US dollar CAD. Both, I was bullish on both of them. Both made a move, but my entry point was not triggered. Of course, when I finally get another setup, I took the trade, but it was pretty much a scratch. It was pretty much a scratch. I took a small loss, maybe I entered 146, 151. Close this. I had a two pip loss, so it's okay, not too bad. But US Canadian dollar, That one I missed the setup there too. So I'm just trying to see because I'm madly I'm madly bullish on both of those pairs. So I'm trying to see if I will get a second chance. If I get a second chance to get in those trades, we'll make some pips. I will show you what those charts look like. So this is EuroCAD. My expectation for the day is that it will hit at least 146,485 by the end of the closing day today. That was my expectation. This is where I started hunting it. We had a pullback, but it was a complex pullback. I was waiting for a break. The break happened, looked for a pullback. I was hoping to enter somewhere here. The pullback didn't quite happen. The price pretty much opened and shoot straight up. And my second attempt to take the trade, I got a pullback somewhere here. Took the trade. I was hoping to exit somewhere up here for maybe 17 to 20 pips. But unfortunately, market didn't cooperate, so it was a scratch. Once this red candle closed, I scratched the trade. But now we are starting to come down. So what might happen is that we might get something like this. We might get a candle like this, then maybe get a bullish one. Candle coming down, get a bullish one somewhere here. If we see something like this, for sure we're gonna be taking another trade targeting here. So that's the only condition in which we will re-enter this trade long. But we'll see. We'll just hang and wait. Actually, most of the indicators you see on my screen, I don't really use it. I mean, I make use of the moving averages, and I use the envelope. I don't really use it, but just to gauge how far away price have moved in a certain direction. If you're trading pullback, sometimes you can get carried away, with thinking that price will go to the moon. But having these envelopes plotted around price, sometimes it helps bring you back to reality. You don't get too crazy with your ideas. But it doesn't really play a major role in what I do. Okay, market is starting to move. Volatility is coming into the market. So we might another opportunity might present itself. So Euro US dollars is another pair where we might be getting maybe a short-term opportunity, maybe to scalp a couple of pips. I mean, we are at a resistance, which makes it tough. But I really like, the yesterday's close is bullish. It makes it very likely that it makes it very likely that this area will be tested. 130,044. And we haven't tested that. We haven't gone into that zone yet today. So with the way the 4 hours candle closed, if we are at a resist, I mean we are at a resistance, but given how bullish the daily candle looks and how the 4 hour candle is looking, it's a risky trade, but there is a good probability, depending on how what is going on here, the pullback going on here unfolds, depending on how the pullback here unfolds, that we might push up and test this area. But it's not going to be an easy trade at all, because like I said before, whenever you are trading into a zone, I mean, this is a minor zone. If you're trading into a minor zone, it's not as painful as trading into a major zone. A minor zone, the trade might work, but it will be difficult. It's just back and forth, back and forth. You are in drawdown, you go into profit, you are in drawdown, you go into profit. Eventually your target might be hit, but it's a pain. If you can avoid it, avoid it. So most of the currency pairs are sitting in a zone right now. So which means that for the coming week, we might be getting a lot of opportunities. I mean, the coming days. So as you guys can see, I use multiple time frames just to keep an eye on what is happening everywhere. I mean, some of these zones I haven't updated. I haven't updated because I look at so many pairs, man. Sometimes I don't update the zones unless something catches my attention. Man, definitely we want to keep an eye on US CAD and Euro CAD. Those two pairs. I have a strong bullish bias on those two pairs. But of course, in trading, you can have as strong a view as you want. Where if the market is not confirming what you think, there is no trade. There is no trade. So we just have to wait. So EuroCAD, what I'm looking for now is to see if price will come down, maybe form some kind of support, maybe come down like this, maybe have the next candle come down, hopefully come down, but a small candle showing a loss of momentum. Have a small candle like this, preferably showing loss of wick at the bottom. Showing, I mean, wicks at the bottom. If you are hunting buys, it shows buying pressure. So these are the type of things you want to be seeing when you are hunting buys. Hopefully we come into this area, start seeing candles like this. Start seeing candles like this. And of course, get another one. Get another candle with strong bullish close. And preferably showing buying pressure at the bottom also. This will be beautiful. If we get a scenario like this, then we are taking this trade all the way here. And stop loss will be somewhere here. You can put your stop loss here or even here. Even if we don't get a candle, if we get a candle like this and get a strong, maybe not a, even if we get a candle and get something strong like this, then in that scenario, we will still be targeting somewhere, this, let's say, if we get a strong candle like this, let's say with a wick at the top and a small wick at the bottom. So in this case, what I will be hunting, the next candle will probably open here. This is the open. I will be looking for the next candle to come down. Once it comes down, I'm going to be stacking orders right here. Enter my trades here while it's coming down. Have the candle come down. And of course, the scenario I'm hoping to see unfold will be that it comes down like this. I take my entries. It goes back up here. And I'll be exiting my trade. I'm out, done, finish. Or, because I have a strong view, that this high will be hit, I can take buy somewhere here as the market is going up, maybe take partial profit somewhere here, and hold the rest to see if this target will be reached. But there is a 70% probability that we're gonna hit 146,485, most likely. But these are all probability. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. But these are the scenarios that I'm playing out, that will unfold. This will be the ideal scenario. But of course, maybe this is not going to happen. We might get strong bearish candles instead. In which case, there is no trade because my bias is long for this pair. I can't go short. There is no shorts. So if we get strong candle like this and a strong candle coming down, there is no trade. There is no trade. So we find another pair. But let's see what happens. US CAD is another pair that I'm really looking at. I have a strong bullish bias on this pair also. So pushed up, same scenario as the US CAD. I'm targeting here. I think there is a strong possibility that we're gonna, by the end of the trading day, that we're gonna hit this high. So we moved up. I missed this trade. When we have this strong push, I had an order to enter on a retracement of the next candle somewhere here, but there was no retracement. The candle just pushed straight up. There was no trade. I didn't take it. I don't chase. If my level is not hate, there is no trade. We move on to the next candle. So, but now we came down. Now we are rejected. So if we reject and we get another candle close like this, we get another candle close like this, then we will be taking the trade. We wait for the next candle to open, probably somewhere here. We're gonna be taking the trade. Maybe we'll see if we can get a retracement, maybe to somewhere here. If you get a retracement of this candle to somewhere here, we take the trade somewhere here, and once we hit somewhere here, we exit. So for my trade, I'm not going for home runs. I'm scalping 10 to 15 pips per trade, sometimes 5 to 7 pips, depending on the pair. I'm not going for home runs, quick scalps, high probability wins, and keeping my losses small. So this is the scenario we are looking to unfold in US CAD. So if we get something like this, we are hoping for the candle to open here, pull back. On that pullback, we enter the trade and ride it to somewhere here. That's the scenario we are hoping to see unfold in US CAD. But you never know. My bias is I have a bullish bias. My bias for this pair is bullish. So, but of course, what I'm thinking might not unfold. We might get something like this instead. Instead of having those bullish candle, this might close bearish, another bearish candle. In that case, there is no trade. I can't stick long because my bias for this pair is bullish. Get a strong push and a strong push, then there is no trade. I've taken one trade today, which I lost maybe 2-3 pips. No big deal. Wait for another candle. Wait for another setup. Every day there are at least 2 to 3 setups every day. Every single day, I get at least 2 to 3 different setups, high quality setups. So if this one doesn't turn out well, we wait for another day. No problem. No problem. So at this point, we are waiting. At this point, we are waiting. Of course, we have a minor support zone somewhere here. Came up, pushed up today, came down, pulled back, pushed up, hit the minor support zone, and now we're going back up. Let's see what happens. Guys, remember, I'm gonna be doing this every day from now on. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I will be doing this every day. I'll be sharing my knowledge. This is taking me a lot of hard work to be able to, do what I do now. Of course, I'm still learning. There are still so much to learn. I'm learning every day, improving every day, always thinking of new ways to get better. But everything I'm doing here, everything I'm showing you guys, is based on statistical probability. It's not based on how I feel. I mean, of course, in the market, sometimes you look at a price chart, you have a hunch that this is what might be happening. But of course, having that hunch is one thing, and actually going down and doing the work to figure out if what you are thinking is happening is valid. That's another thing. What I'm doing here, lots of back testing, lots of forward testing. That's how I trade. Just you guys are gonna love this. So I'll be doing this every day from now. I mean, of course, this is my first day doing live stream, but I'll be doing this every day. So we have a minor zone right here. We have so we have a minor zone. So this US Japanese yen is ranging. So we can't really do much. There is no volume whatsoever. There is no volume in UJ whatsoever. Man, I trade everything. I mean, some people believe in you have to focus on a particular pair, get to really know it. Yeah, I mean, there are some validity to that. But what I do, pretty much, it doesn't matter. It works you can trade it in every single pair. You can trade the way I trade in every single pair. But the thing is, of course, because what I'm doing is hyper scalping. I mean, it's scalping. So you have to pay attention to the spread. If you are the lower the spread of the pair you are trying to trade, the better. Because if you are going for 10 pips and the pair you are trying to trade have a spread of let's say 3 pips. So already you're gonna pay 3 pips to get in, 3 pips to get out. And that's 60% of your profit target. So you have to be incredibly good in trading to have a 60% handicap and still come out on top. So what I do in those situations is instead of scalping in smaller time frames on those pairs, I go up to the higher time frames. Let's say instead of trading on 1 hour chart, I go up to 4 hour chart to daily. So when I can still take signals on the higher time frames instead of scalping. So we have a big range in US Swiss franc. Of course, the strategy here, we were buying the bottom of the range and selling the top of the range, but not so fast. Before you decide, it's always good to go to the higher time frame and see what is going on. Like if the higher time frame is in an uptrend, it makes sense to be buying. It makes sense to be buying the low of the range. So in this case, I mean, weekly is on a range. We are ranging right here, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Daily, the same thing. We don't really have a clearly defined trend. So you can buy both sides, buy and sell both sides. If you're at the top of the range, you can take sells, bottom of the range, you can take buys. So I trade a lot of pairs, man. So I keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, but where I think the probability we have the higher chances of getting a good trade is Euro card or US card. I mean, it's coming down now, but like I said, the target I'm calling for the day, for the end of the day, will be that we're gonna test this high. That's what I'm calling. So if a support forms here, let's say this candle closes with a pin bar, we get another candle closing like this, then we take the trade all the way to here. Take the trade all the way to here. This is what we're waiting for, man. This is what we're waiting for. This and US Canadian dollar. So Euro card or US card. Where is US card? US card. So this is what we're waiting for. Of course, our expectation for the day is that this high will be tested. But of course, knowing, thinking that and believing that, we can't just jump in and take a buy. Of course, market have to be agreeing with us. Even though I know that there is a 75% chance we're gonna hit this high we tested today. I still can't jump in. That will be imposing my will on the market. But if we get a bullish candle here, came down here, reject, get a bullish candle, then we're taking it to to at least somewhere here. At least somewhere here. So if this candle, if the next candle closes like this, and we get a retracement to somewhere here, from here to here is around 8 pips. So we might be able to go for maybe 9, 10 pips, close the trade, maybe close some, and see if we can get 17 pips up to somewhere here. So that's the idea. US card and Euro card. That's what we are hunting for. What my long-term view on Euro card is that we will be testing this high, maybe within the next week or two, because we had this area, man, and I just need to get rid of all this shit. Get rid of all these channels. Okay, now much better. So we just broke out of this. Man, can you believe for how long the bears, I mean, people shorting, the sellers held off buyers at this level. Push up, they push them down. Pushed up, they push them down. Tested here, 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 push them down, and the bears, the bulls fought really hard and take out most of the sellers. So now, a lot of people who have been going short will be squealing, that's for sure. They will be in a lot of pain because they've been successfully taking shots here and making money. People who took shots here must have been caught by surprise. Have this reversal here, closed above here for the first time since December 2020, even November 2020. So my buyers, and we have, if you look here, there are no major resistance whatsoever. This is a clean traffic. So my bias is that this weekly candle, of course, every week, maybe the range of a weekly candle is maybe 150 pips or maybe at least 100 pips. So when this current weekly candle expands, we're going to feel this range. And you can see the daily chart also is getting ready to go up. You can see the daily chart. People took shots here, came down, more shots here, didn't go down, then boom, took out all the shots. So of course, my bias for today is that at least we're gonna retest this high, and long term, I'm expecting price to at least come to this area. That's why I'm looking at US card and Euro card. But of course, you can do all the analysis you want if the market have to be confirming your view for you to do anything. And you can see even though I have a long-term view, I'm not making big projections to go take buys and hold for 100 and something pips. First target's right here if I take buys, and my target for the day is somewhere here. That's it. Done. Done. Tomorrow is another day. Then tomorrow we can play out the scenario for tomorrow. But for today, this is what we are hunting. Nothing more, nothing less. Guys, again, I will making these videos from now on every day. So if you like, you know, please like, subscribe. I will bring in, a lot of good stuff to you guys. You guys are gonna love it. Let's see how this will play out. Let's see how this will play out. Of course, we might. If you look at this on a small time frame, this is like a complex pullback. So you have different types of pullback. You have a simple pullback where market moves up, comes down, continues to go up. Then you have a complex pullback. Market goes up, pulls back, and start to turn up. A lot of traders will think that, okay, that this second leg is about to continue. They take buys. And of course, what does the market do? Continues to go down. People who put their stop losses here will be taken out. And, in general, when you trade pullback, you have to plan. You have to plan for this scenario. Even though most pullback starts like a simple pullback, some of them turns to a complex pullback. So if you put your stop loss here, sometimes if it turns into a complex pullback, you'll be taken out. So you have to plan for this. So the scenario we have now on the 15 minutes chart is a complex pullback. So we are doing this. Of course, when do we enter a complex pullback? You can simply wait for this to get to a higher time frame support. If we hit 1 hour support somewhere here, a higher time frame support will be here. If we hit this zone, it doesn't matter. You can simply take a buy. Or you can wait to see a scenario like this. We're going down. You wait for structure to change. You wait for this to happen. We break this. You can either take buys straight away or you wait for a pullback to reduce your risk. When this pullback occurs, you take a buy. So that's another way you can do it. So this is a simple pullback which can turn into a complex pullback. So that's what's happening here on the 5 minutes chart. So we can either wait for price to come into this zone. We take buys, or you see how we're going trending down. At the moment, we wait for this high to be taken out. Wait for something like this. Why not this high? I mean, this is a high, but it's not this high because this high haven't made a new low. So it's like making a new low, smaller high, lower low, smaller high. This smaller high made a lower low, so that has to be taken out. We can only start because this high made this low. We are in a consolidation now. It's like a consolidation, and we're not going to consider this high to be a serious high until it takes out something. If it takes this out, then we will be looking for this high to be taken out. Then we wait for some kind of pullback. Then we take it up. We go long. Until that happens, we just wait. We just wait. So these are, I mean, there are different types of pullback. You have a simple pullback, you have a complex pullback, you have a pullback to support a resistance, which is what I just showed you guys here. Market rallies, you wait for a pullback to a support or resistance zone, you take a trade. Or you can use a Fibonacci. I use it in my trading. I use it quite often. I use it to to decide where to get involved. So when you have a push, strong push, put your fibs in, then you can decide where to get involved. Before I got involved, I've traded this pair before. Today, I got involved somewhere. I got involved somewhere here, somewhere here, hoping that we're gonna hit this high. It never happened. Price kind of, just ranged around, Then I think in the end, I closed the trade for maybe minus 2 or 3 pips loss somewhere here. And now we continue to trend down. So we just wait, see what happens. If this low is taken out, then as a complex pullback trade, which is what this is now, this have to be taken out for us to consider going long. If you are basing your trade on the 5 minutes chart. Okay, US card is looking good. We came down here. Of course, my bias is bullish. My expectation for today is that we're gonna test this high. Whether that will happen or not, I don't. Nobody can say for sure. But my call is that we're gonna test this high. So we have it. We have a this candle now shows that buyers are stepping in. So if we get a bullish candle like this, if this candle closes bullish like this, then we go long. Take it up to here. That's what we are anticipating. Before that happens, we just wait. We sit on our hands and wait. I traded this pair in the morning. No, yesterday morning. Made a few pips. Broke down, came back here, showed rejection. Showed rejection, I took it down. This candle. Took sales here, closed it here. Nice trade. So we are creating this range. Let me just remove all those things. I mean, in terms of my pullback trade, the two main indicators that I use is the 50 and 20 moving exponential moving average. So the strategy basically is I'm looking for strong pushes. A strong push, wait for a pullback, we take the trade. Bitcoin. On a daily chart, it's in a downtrend. What we are sitting on a weekly chart, of course, it's in an uptrend. And we have a perfect pullback. Pullback to a support zone on the weekly chart. So this area is a good place to be hunting buys only. You see a buy setup, you take them. This is why it's good to do multiple time frame analysis. You keep an eye on what's happening in all the time frames. You know, if you're not looking at weekly, you're not going to know that we are sitting at a major support in an uptrend. You can see weekly chart is in an uptrend. On a daily chart, it's a clear downtrend, but you can see how we rejected. Look at that rejection once we hit the weekly support zone. Look at the amount of rejection, and now we are kind of consolidating. So, but of course, it's better to be hunting buys in those zones. Of course, you have your minor minor support and resistance. Have to keep that in mind. Keep in mind the minor support and resistance zones. Let's see, we are rejecting at those minor zones. Always map out your zones. You open up your chart. That's the first thing you do. Map them out. These are like landmines. Imagine if you are walking in a field with landmines. Mapping out your zone is like having a mine detector. You're walking in the field with your mine detector. You have it in front of you while you walk. Shows you where all the traps are laid. You map these things out. You know where the buyers are. You know where the sellers are. Minor zones shows you where the small players are. The major zones, something like this. These are where the big boys get involved. People who have the power to move the market. So that's why you can see in Bitcoin. Bitcoin was fell from what 56,000. Once we got down to 41,000, and the strength of the big players moved it from 41,000 all the way to 48,000, $8,000 push. So these zones are not to be played with. You don't want to be taking sales into these zones. Always map them out. You can have your strategy, no problem. Whatever strategy you trade. I mean, pullbacks, which is what I do. Whatever you do, man, it doesn't even matter. But always map out your zones. It shows you where the buyers and sellers are sitting. Very, very important. If you consistently take buys where you have a bunch of sellers sitting, it's like banging you keep losing money. You keep banging, it's like banging your head against the wall. You know, you have to know where the mines are laid, and you avoid those mines as much as possible. Okay, we are at a support here, daily support. The first time we touched, see the strong push, came for a retest for the second time. Third time, actually, this is the second time, pushed up. The third time, we're going deeper into the zone. But on the hourly chart, we are starting to consolidate. Of course, the bias is short. The bias is short, but at the same time, we are sitting at a major zone. Uh, Major zone tested so many times. If we get a long signal, we'll take it. Swiss franc yen, man, look at this consolidation, man. That's a crazy range. But the thing is, we are in a major uptrend, so the ideal strategy will be to buy whenever we come to the bottom of this range. Because we are in an uptrend, we can break higher at any time. So it makes sense to be, trading this, the zone from the long side. Oh, we're still waiting. Euro card. Ooh, Euro Australian dollar. What is this? Broke out of consolidation. But the thing is, for this pair, even though we are coming off of a 4-hour support resistance zone, my bias for this pair, because of how strong the daily candle closed, I don't really want to be taking. I mean, daily is consolidating. You can get away with taking short with a strong bullish daily candle. Yeah, you can make it work. It's possible. But generally, the way I trade, I try not to go against the daily candle. You can trade against it and win, that's for sure. But the probability is not on my side when I do that. So we didn't get a retracement anywhere. When we broke this, because we see you see all this rejection. Maybe I might have been tempted to take a short position. But the thing is, for me to take sales here, I can't just open sales when this candle open. I have to wait for some kind of a retracement, maybe up to here, 5, 6, 7 pips retracement, take the trade, and if I took the trade by now I would have been out already, done. But we'll keep an eye on this pair. It's moving. This is what you want to see in the market. Market moving, volatility. No volatility, no money. Volatility means more money. Okay. Euro card is coming down. So complex pullback. So we are heading to this zone. Let's see how price reacts when we get here. Let's see how price reacts. Of course, ideally, what you want to see is we have a bullish 4 hour candle. Okay, so the low of that candle is here. You don't want to see this low get broken. Ideally, what we want to see is as we get closer to here to start seeing tiny candles showing a loss of momentum. You want to see a small candle like this, preferably with a wick on the downside. Small candle with a wick to the downside. Maybe another candle, not maybe, see another candle that also pushed and showed clear rejection. Then for sure we're gonna be taking this. So at least there's this high. So here's another scenario. You see, the first scenario didn't play out. That's why we wait. We just wait. You plan this thing out, then you wait. Always have multiple scenarios planned. Plan them out, you wait. And see which one gets confirmed. But overall, our bias is bullish. We are hunting buys, no sales. I mean, of course, I can scalp sales. The probability is not really on my side. That's for sure. Because the probability of price breaking this level in the next what? In the next within the next 2.5 hours, within the next two candles, the next two candles, the probability of price breaching this level 140, 145, 738. Let's say the probability is like 15%. So 85% of the time is not gonna that level will not be taken out. But if it's taken out, well, it's a totally different scenario that is playing out. But the scenario that I'm looking to see is because the first one didn't play out. Come here, small candle, another small candle with showing rejection, then we take it going up. That's the scenario we are looking for now. We want to be seeing small candle showing that this momentum we used coming into here is being halted. If we came down with this momentum, start seeing small candles, it shows you that the buyers are starting to absorb all the selling volumes coming in. You see maybe a small red candle, and you see a candle closing green, it means the buyers have taken over. Buyers have taken control. Then it gives you a good probability that if you take buys, it will work out. So that's what we are looking for now. That's what we are hunting. we are approaching this low. Let's see if buyers will step in and pull up some kind of fight. If this low is breached, we have a completely different scenario on our hand. If buyers step in and defend this area, buyers this have to be defended. If buyers let this zone be breached, we have a totally like a completely different scenario that we definitely have to reassess. If we start seeing small candles, it means buyers are stepping in. But this is quite a strong momentum, huge momentum. Let's see if buyers will hold up the sellers. Maybe put up a last stand around that zone. Otherwise, we'll be coming down here. Normally on a candle like this, if we get a retracement somewhere here or here, normally I will take a short. Well, because I have a long bias on this pair, I'll probably be passing. Yeah, Antonio. How are you? Yeah, good, and you? Good. Just dropped earlier, so just have another stupid conversation. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Antonio, Antonio, you're not even getting the point. Maybe you do, but from do you know why a man is willing to bring a girl and go through all the troubles of what her financially provide? Why? Because of that humble guy. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is, no, no. Data analyst, you don't have to know much programming. I mean, even data science, you don't have to know too much. You just have to know how to do your work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you know a little bit of programming, it helps. Deep. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's always good to have other skills anyway. You have to be. Yeah. Yeah. That's that's my target also. What I've noticed recently, man. For me, you know, for a fact, fuck, you fall asleep. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm like you, Antonio. I don't know, man. I have an independent spirit. You know. I've noticed that for me, it's not even about money, man. I mean, I've had two high-paying jobs now, but I'm there, but I'm still not fucking happy. You know. So yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm not. Give me one second. Hey guys, I just have to end the stream round, and I will see.